Hello, everybody. Welcome in today on this Wednesday afternoon. It's almost 1 p.m. It's around 12:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Today, we got some MMA news to be going over, and also, I think I might just do some. I might do some watch along reactions to the media day. We got media day going on for UFC 317. So let's go ahead and get just right on into it then. How about that? Yeah. Okay, so first off, the Liver King, this fool's fucking going crazy. Liver King charged with making a terroristic threat towards Joe Rogan. This guy, dude, he looks like shit compared to what? I mean, 2 years ago? He looks fucking terrible. He looks old. He looks like he's on drugs. His eyes are two different colors now. What the fuck's wrong with this guy? Hope he's okay. Brian Johnson, better known as the Liver King, has been arrested and charged with allegedly making a terroristic threat towards UFC color commentator Joe Rogan. Austin police confirmed to the arrest on MMA Fighting on Wednesday after Johnson made a series of bizarre and meandering videos on social media where he challenged Rogan to a fight. He actually went as far as flying to Austin where Rogan resides while continuing to challenge the podcaster and comedian. On Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, at approximately 9:30 a.m., Austin Police Department detectives were notified that a subject identified as Brian Johnson, also known as the Liver King, had made threats against Joe Rogan on his Instagram profile. Austin Police told MMA Fighting in a statement detectives reviewed the post and observed that Johnson was traveling to Austin while continuing to make threatening statements. Detectives contacted Mr. Rogan, who stated he never had any interaction with Johnson and considered the post to be threatening. Based on this information, detectives obtained an arrest warrant for Johnson on a charge of terroristic threat. Later that day, at approximately 5:59 p.m., ADP officers located Johnson at the Four Seasons Hotel, located at 98 San Jacinto Boulevard, and took him into custody without incident. I forgot to go over this again. He was transported to the county jail with the terroristic threat, Class B misdemeanor. This remains an active investigation, and there's no further information available at this time. Liver King actually posted videos on his Instagram right after he was arrested and taken into custody by police for making threats against Joe Rogan. How's that happen? Prior to flying to Austin, Johnson made separate posts challenging Rogan to a fight while instructing whoever runs his social media accounts to record anything and everything as he continued to go on strange rants. I don't know this guy's voice. I never even heard him talking, to be honest with you, but I'm just going to pretend. It sounds like Hulk Hogan. Joe Rogan. That's not really good Hulk Hogan impersonation. Brother. That's not too bad. Joe Rogan. We don't have to make pretend videos anymore. Johnson said in one video. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you to a man-to-man fight. Honorable. We don't have to pretend or make any videos. The world is watching. They'll make videos for us. You don't have to hold the camera. You can hold the hand of someone that you love because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling. All right, let's see if he sounds anything like what I just imagined. Nope, nothing like what I sound like, but wow, he looks and sounds fucking creepy. This guy's on something. Wow, I'm a jackass. I haven't. Jesus. It's been muted the whole time. Oh, man.
But what I see in you is comedy's good and true. Touch points, how people laugh. If we don't make fun of them at their expense, they laugh. You should all make fun of me. You should all make fun of me at my expense. Trust me, that it still works, and then you should get paid for it.
All right. So, well, I fucked up and had it muted the whole time. If you want to watch the video, go ahead and watch the video. I don't know, man. This guy's a weirdo. But Johnson first came to fame as an influencer posting 9 ancestral tenets regarding his lifestyle, where he routinely eats raw meats while offering advice about his dietary intake. After denying for years that he ever used any performance-enhancing drugs to maintain his physique, Johnson admitted to using steroids in 2022 after emails were leaked that showed him spending as much as $11,000 per month on anabolic steroids and other drugs. The "and other drugs" part here is the key, because that is what he is on when he made this video and threatened Joe Rogan. If convicted, Johnson faces up to 180 days in jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Honestly, I can see Joe Rogan, even, like, he's not going to, but I could just see him being the guy to be like, no, like, I'm not going to press charges. Don't put him in jail. Don't do anything like that. If he is, Rogan would pay his bail and have a conversation with him, be like, bro, what the fuck? Joe Rogan just seems like that kind of dude. He's not going to do it, but he also doesn't have to. I could just see him doing that if he chose to. But, yeah, Liver King, he took something other than steroids and liver for whatever that fucking video was. But with that, let me know down below, what do you think about the Liver King making a terrorist threat on Joe Rogan? Do you think he would win or lose that fight? Do you want to see that fight? I don't give a fuck, if I'm being honest with you, but whatever. Let me know down below. All right, moving on. We now have UFC 318. So we're about to get 317 this weekend. The next one's going to be UFC 318, the Diamond's final fight. So the full fight card, as of right now, is in Louisiana. Let's go ahead and check it out. The show takes place at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana, marketing the 6th time the UFC has visited the area. 6th time only, wow. Max Holloway's BMF title will be on the line as legendary Dustin Diamond Poirier fights his final fight on a card full of incredible matchups set to take place. Here's everything you need to know about the full fight card for UFC 318. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. What the fuck is this? The main event for the UFC 318 sees Poirier taking the octagon for the final time in his 3rd battle with Holloway. Poirier will retire after UFC 318 and welcome his first son into the world. Oh, how nice. He hasn't fought since Islam Makhachev choked out Poirier June last year, ending his chances of becoming a full-fledged lightweight champion for the first time in his career. Holloway also is coming off a loss to top champion, defeated by Ilia Topuria, and now he wants to get back the title. Okay. The co-main event of the evening pits Cameroonian Atiba Gouder in a middleweight clash with his Swiss counterpart Robert Valentine. The silent assassin will continue his impressive streak against Rob Zilla, a Swiss fighter who has lost his first 2 UFC fights. Gouder's height, weight, and reach advantage should help him beat the Swiss fighter. Okay. Then we got Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. You got Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber in the prelims. Early prelims, 4 fights have been announced for the prelims. Neil Magny, Gunnar Nelson, good fight. Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachino. That'd be, I like Jimmy Crute. Adam Fugit versus Islam Dulatov. That'd be a good fight. And the only women's on the fight card so far, Carly Judas and Nicole Kalari. I don't know how to spell her name. But all right, cool. Yeah. So far the fight card's shaping up to be a good one. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. The Paulo Costa, he's supposed to fight this weekend, but one of them had to back out, so now they're fighting on the next one. But yeah, with that, let me know down below, what do you think about this UFC 318 fight card so far? In some sort of semi-breaking news, UFC 317 has lost a fighter, not necessarily the fight, but a fighter to the fight card. So, what's his name? Cedric Dumas is out of his scheduled middleweight matchup with newcomer Jackson McVeigh for undisclosed reasons. Stepping in will be another undefeated fighter making his UFC debut, Kristen Ewart. MMA Junkie was first to report the change. Okay. Ewert made his pro debut in December 22 in less than 3 years. He makes his UFC debut at the promotional International Fight Week card. 31-year-old was slated to compete on Dana White's Contender Series in August, but is now looks to improve his record to 8-0. Ewert competed for Fury UFC in his past 2 fights, earning a first-round knockout against AJ Chambers and a decision victory against Reese Watkins. McVeigh has yet to see a second round in his pro career, finishing all 6 of his opponents in the first round. 26-year-old has only seen a fight go beyond 2-minute mark just one time. Wow. UFC 317. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. UFC 317 is headlined by a vacant lightweight title. Okay, yeah, we know who the main event is. Okay, so just the biggest thing, Cedric Dumas is out of the UFC 317 card. A guy that's going to be on Contender, or was going to be on Contender Series in 2 months, is coming up. He got the call early, coming up, stepping on short days notice, not even weeks notice, short days notice, and going to fight at UFC 317. So what do you think of this information? I was excited for Cedric Dumas to fight. I was actually rooting for him, and now I'm going to have to probably go for McVeigh. But yeah, with that, I'll do a full I'll go through again and do a full breakdown of UFC 317 on Friday probably, and then have my final predictions. And with that, hopefully, just hope for a good weekend of fights. So let me know down below, what do you think about this information? Are you surprised? Honestly, at this point, whenever a fight just doesn't happen, I'm not surprised anymore. I anticipate half of these cards not happening. So with that, are you excited for this weekend? Let me know who you want to win down below. All right. And we have now the main event for UFC Noche has been announced, and that's going to be Diego Lopez versus John Silva as the main event. And man, that's a great fight. That's an exciting fight. And hey, if Gene Silva wins, bro, he's next in line for the title. He will fight Volk, unless Volk fights somebody else first. But if he doesn't, then Silva will fight Volk. Featherweights Diego Lopez and John Silva have agreed to meet in a 5-round main event fight at the upcoming UFC Noche. I think this is also the first Noche that doesn't involve a title fight. In San Antonio on September 13th, UFC CEO Dana White announced the news on Tuesday night. The fight pits the former title challenger against one of the fastest rising stars in the division, with Lopez looking to bounce back from a loss to Alexander Volkanovski, while Silva attempts to remain undefeated in the UFC after 5 straight wins in the octagon. Prior to a setback at the featherweight title, Lopez has rattled off 5 wins in a row, including victories over Brian Ortega, Dan Ige, and Sadiq Youssef. While he came up short in his bid to become champion, Lopez remains one of the top-ranked 145-pounders in the world. As for Silva, the 28-year-old member of the Fighting Nerds team has taken the division by storm with blistering performances ever since joining the UFC roster. Most recently, Silva took out Bryce Mitchell in dominant fashion with a nasty ninja choke at UFC 314 in April. Overall, Silva is 5-0 in the UFC with 5 wins coming by way of knockout or submission. He'll attempt to keep the streak alive when he faces Lopez in September, with a chance to potentially earn a title shot with the win. The latest installment of Noche UFC goes down in San Antonio, with more fights expected to be added to the card in the coming weeks. So what do you guys think of this main event? First main event of UFC Noche without a title on the line, but 2 great fighters. Who else would you like to see on this fight card? And again, what do you think about this being the main event? I think it's going to be a free one too. It's going to be a fight night, not a pay-per-view. So that also makes sense as to why it's not a title. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm very excited. The Noche time is a pretty fun time. I like all the merch that they got. I got a UFC Noche hat that I wear here and there. So yeah, I'm excited for this. And let me know your thoughts down below. The UFC is fun. I'm hoping for a good weekend this weekend. All right, guys. So that is it. Let's see if there's some breaking news here. Let's see if there's some breaking news. That's almost too quick of a show. So let's see. Do we got any we got anything here? Actually, I know what to do. Let's check out let's see what Media Day stuff has happened so far. UFC Media Day. All right, let's look at this.
He had this hunger and fire in him.
Wait, what the fuck? They don't have Press conference, weigh-ins. Wow, UFC doesn't have their own media day thing coverage? The fuck? All right. All right. Let's see here. Let's check this out. Okay. Okay, so then we'll go to let's do MMA Junkie. The Junk.
This is for my history. I'm ready for this fight.
Sua história sempre foi marcada pela resiliência, mas agora você enfrenta um invicto jovem e com muita fome. Você sente que ela voltou a ser o Azarão nessa narrativa?
Yes, guys, I promise you I will not be watching the non-English ones.
To him for giving me a chance to fight with him.
Josh?
Understand. Too big for me.
Ilya speaks English for the most part, so let's see. Nothing? Damn. Is it what, 2-3 fighters?
The only people we cared about and still do is the athlete. Are they
Okay,
receptive
cool.
to this?
Moicano, he's get the
Good
jacket.
thing for
That's
them,
awesome.
I
I always like seeing when
I
they
have
get
been
their
in UFC
jackets.
Since 2014.
All right. Let's go ahead and look at what Money Moicano has to say in his interview. He speaks English for the most part, so it's not unbearable to watch. It's easy to watch.
Fight against someone else.
All right.
Now I am the cleanest athlete over here today, so thank you so much. Maybe you guys sponsor me, but to be honest with you,
Maybe you guys
I was-
sponsor me.
I was happy, like he said. I didn't even consider that, but I have been in UFC since 2014, and to me it was a huge guarantee to have the anti-doping, because we know back in the day a lot of people used to cheat, and one thing everybody hates is cheater, you know. So I'm happy with the program. I'm happy with UFC, and that's awesome. Thank you so much.
You mentioned being in the UFC since 2014, and yet for some reason in this fight with Beneil, everyone looks at you as the younger up-and-coming guy, and he's this old veteran that you need to get rid of.
Because I'm young. I'm young on my mind.
Is it strange to prepare to fight a guy, fight against someone else, and then have to go back to the gym and prepare for the same guy that you were originally going to fight?
Not really, because in the end of the day, I use the same training partners, I use the same system, but I had more time and I focus more on my dieting, on my training. So this camp was even better than the last one.
Does it benefit you that you both had a camp, but you got to compete and he didn't, or does it benefit him because he didn't have to get into a fight?
I don't know, benefit me that I got a lot of money, you know, so I think that's what I want, and that's what I got.
Benefit
you
me,
know?
I got a
And
lot
I
of
got
money.
This opportunity, and I was happy. And sometimes life throws at you a challenge. I come up short, but now I have the chance to get back, to beat Dariush, and to climb the rankings again, so I'm happy.
In a way, it's obviously the fight with Islam didn't go your way, right? But in a way, this is the best case scenario because now he's moved up. It's not like you've got a loss to the existing champion. So do you feel a bit revitalized that your opportunity at a belt might come sooner than you would have had it should he have stayed?
I don't care about rankings. I don't care about anything. I want to fight for the belt next, not next. I want someday again with better preparation. But that's not up to me. I have to beat Beneil Dariush. I have to give a good speech to everybody. I have to bring more fans to my side. And this is going to happen, you know. I have to become more.
He knows the
popular to
business
fight
side
for
of
the
it now,
belt.
which is nice.
A lot of people think UFC is sports, but UFC is entertainment. They want to sell tickets. They want to sell merchandise, and that's the truth. And that's why I'm trying my best.
He knows
to be
it.
Sellable.
I think it's working. Good luck.
Thank you.
Does your jacket say Money Moicano? Not Hinata?
My jacket say Money Moicano. That's awesome.
In January, when we spoke to you before your fight with that didn't happen with Beneil, your exact quote was, I'm going to beat the shit out of an old man. This time I saw an interview and you said you were going to kill him. So I guess what's different
I
this time?
killed
You're
him.
going to kill this guy instead of beat him up.
The difference is somebody told me that he's only 15 days older than me, so I have to kill him now because that means I was calling myself old the whole training camp and Saturday night can only be one old man standing, and this is going to be me.
Has it felt like you said this camp was better than the last one, but has it felt like one long camp to you, considering you've been preparing for the same guy for like 8-9 months?
Not really, because after the fight, I took a little time off and I focused on my social media, especially on my Portuguese channel, Shootout. Faz o M aí, galera do YouTube. So I focus a lot on my social media and grow a lot, especially my YouTube in Portuguese. I was doing podcasts and doing stuff. I was open a gym. I was focused and I was doing other stuff than fighting. And then I get back to training, and then I had a good training camp. So was not like 9 months just thinking about I have to beat this old man Dariush. No, was good.
And obviously, the main event on Saturday is your weight class for the vacant title. There's a lot of argument over who should get the shot after that. Should it be Arman again? Should it be Gaethje?
It'll be Gaethje.
Obviously, you want to make a statement, but who do you think is the closest? Because you said it's not about rankings, it's about popularity at this
Yes.
point. Who do you think deserves the shot after Saturday's main event?
I think if Topuria wins, they're gonna put Paddy, because that's going to be a big fight. Even though Paddy don't deserve, it's like you say, it's entertainment. He sells, people like him, and he's a better fighter than I thought. He did good against Chandler. That means or Chandler sucks or Paddy is very good. We're about to find out, because I think Topuria gonna smoke Paddy if they fight. That's gonna be a easy money, but it is what it is, you know. I think if we have merit on the sport, I would like to see Armand Sarukian, because he is the number one contender. But like I say, this is not a sport. This
Armin
is a
versus
sport
Paddy
more,
and Gaethje versus
They
champion.
want to sell tickets, and rankings really doesn't matter.
Well, I think Armin's weighing in as the backup for Saturday anyway. So do you think that means like he's most logically next, especially if Charles wins, he has that win over Charles already?
No, I just think like if something happened, they don't want to give me money again, you know? They say, hey, put Armand Sarukian, this guy is already got good money, so I don't want to pay him again.
Renato, who do you have winning in the main event?
Unfortunately, Topuria. I'm saying that with a broken heart. You know, I'm a huge Charles Oliveira fan. I wish this guy could speak English so you guys can see the emotion, the connection that he has with the fans, especially being from a very poor background. You know, the way he communicates himself in Portuguese is amazing. I am a fan, but Topuria beat two of legends on his previous fight, you know. He beat Volkanovski, that you can arguably tell that on the first fight, Volkanovski did very good. And then Max Holloway, and Max Holloway just knocked Gaethje. So Topuria is very, very dangerous, very, very dangerous.
What were your thoughts on Islam moving up to welterweight? And, you know, since you've been in there and fought him, how much success do you think he's going to have at welterweight?
I think he's going to have success against JDM. I'm not so sure, but I think he did the right thing, you know, move up, try to get 2 belts, and then stop, like Khabib did, you know. If you keep fighting enough, you're going to lose. We saw that with Anderson Silva. I don't know, maybe some people here are younger than me, and they didn't even see the Spider fighting. But when Anderson Silva was fighting, was like legendary. Everybody, it was undisputed, the best fighter of
There's no
all
other time
times.
like it, man.
And then
On Anderson
he
Silva's
lost, and
run,
then everybody forget about
so
him.
much fun.
If you want to keep your legacy,
I didn't
you
forget
should
about him. I never forgot about him. I
fight,
always supported him.
and then try to fight.
I
for
even
another
support the
belt,
fight he had
and
with
then
Adesanya.
Do like Khabib, because I remember Jose Aldo. I remember so much fighters that they lost on the end of their careers, and then
Here's the thing, though, too, with Anderson Silva. He may have been losing, but he kept up. All of his losses were by decision. I still think that he beat Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping just got fucking lucky with that fight. He beat him. And the other fights, they were good fights. They went the distance. He just He just kind of got picked apart, but he didn't lose. He didn't get submitted. He didn't get knocked out. It wasn't embarrassing. It sucks seeing him lose after such a fantastic run as a champion, but he kept up with the talent, and that's what makes him even more special. That's what people forget about.
Kind of legacy were ruined. So I think Makhachev is doing what he was supposed to do. I think he beat GDM, and then if Topuria wins, he get back and fight Topuria, and I think that's a good career.
And last one for me, I think the most interesting aspect of this weekend's fight with you and Beneil is the ground game. Both you guys have very good jiu-jitsu. Who, in your mind, has the better jiu-jitsu between the two of you?
I think that's a good question. That's a very good question. I think Beneil Dariush has a better ground game than me, so he has a better guard, and I think I have better jiu-jitsu game on the top. You know, if I can put him down, I will do like Benoit Saint-Denis. I'm gonna use my elbows, you know, but if he put me on the ground, that's going to be trouble.
Here, Renato. Here. Good afternoon. Here, Renato. Talking about your YouTube channel that you said recently, we could see you training with your ATT training partner, Mateus Gamrot, which has an amazing display of wrestling and is also a former opponent of Beneil Dariush. We've been talking also about wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Do you think that the key in order to get the win this Saturday is your wrestling and your jiu-jitsu, or do you think that the fact that both of you are great grapplers are going to strike more?
I think it's going to be a very interesting fight, looking like analysts, you know, because we both have good jiu-jitsu game, like you say. We both suck at wrestling. We're not good at wrestling. And we both are, like, it's kind of different, you know. I think I am a sharper and better striker than him, and I think he got more power on his left hand and on the hooks. So it's going to be a fun fight. I don't know what's going to happen. This is MMA. Everything that I think about a fight, it happens on all the way, but I'm ready for whatever happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Renato right here in the back. Renato, you're one of the favorite personalities for a lot of the fans. Outside of maybe your friends and teammates, is there a fighter on the microphone that you really like to listen to?
I used to love Chalsone. I know some people don't like him, especially Brazilians. Me, myself, I hated him. I remember in 2013 or 12, something like that, I was a kid. I was not in UFC. And then I was almost asking my friends to give me money so I could go to the UFC Rio, so I could sucker punch him. I wanted to, I know this guy gonna beat me, but I'm gonna punch him and gonna run. And now I like him because the stuff, because I know that's a character, you know. That's not what he really believes. He was just trying to draw attention, and not only draw attention, because draw attention is easy, but to be smart with the mic is very hard. And I remember after the interviews, the stuff that he say, he's a fucking genius. Not on YouTube, though. On YouTube, he sucks.
Oh, my God. In January at the press conference, I think most people would agree you stole the show, and that was a big part of why the UFC also wanted you to main event when Arman pulled out. Do you have anything planned for this Thursday? You get another press conference again with Beneil. Do you have any big plans?
Not really. I was surprised on the last press conference because everybody was calling money. So right now, UFC, you see, I'm a popular guy. We need to raise more money for Moicano. But jokes aside, I never think on what I'm going to say.
My favorite post-fight interview with him is when he goes, "My dad just had another baby, so now it's time for Money Moicano to go make new baby."
You know, I just have a lot of stuff on my
shit
head,
ever.
and when people ask, I talk.
Are you going to be throwing out any more fake money at the weigh-ins?
No more fake money. Now I will throw real money, so prepare for the $100, bro.
Let's go.
Renato, right here. Before your loss to Makhachev, you were on a four-fight win streak, including that great performance in Paris against Benoit Saint-Denis. What version of Renato Moicano can the fans expect to see this Saturday?
A very hungry one, like you say. I was coming maybe the best win streak of my career, you know, because I count as a 5 because I lost to Rafael dos Anjos, a fight that I took not on 155, that was 160. So I had like 4 win streaks with 4 submissions or knockout stoppages. So I was going good. But then they call me 24 hours and they say, hey, you're going to fight to the best fighter in the world. Say, okay, and I lost. I come up short, but I still got it. I still want to be on the top. I still want more money. So you guys can expect somebody that wants to climb the rankings and get more money.
Thank you.
Hey, Renato, I saw you recently opened up your gym, Kingdom Martial Arts. How has the first month been, and have you learned anything new about martial arts by seeing it from a different perspective?
Brother, I would say thank you for the question, but I knew you had asked that question. But thank you so much, no matter what. And I just opened a gym in Florida, so if you guys can check it out, Kingdom Martial Arts, especially for kids, you know. We have anti-bullying program. We want your kids to be very safe and to be very confident on yourself and help the community. So if you are in South Florida, Kingdom Martial Arts, BJJ, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, and kickboxing for kids and for adults too. You know, I don't want people that want to be fighters. I want people to be better citizens and to have a good workout. Okay, so check it out, Kingdom Martial Arts. Thank you so much, Jake.
Renato over here. After UFC 311, your teammate Grant Dawson, he told me a funny story about you. He said you were talking about Joaquin Buckley, and he approached you, and you said you don't speak English. Could you elaborate on that story?
Yes, at the time, like last year, I was in the International Fight Week, and was me and Gilbert talking, and back in the day, Joaquin Buckley wanted to fight Gilbert, and then he approached me, and he started to speak in English, and I didn't understand a lot, but I say, hey, sorry, my English is not that good. And he say, hey, I watch your fucking podcast every week, my brother. Don't come up with that shit. I know you speak in English. But then I say, man, this guy want to fight Gilbert, and Gilbert is my friend, so I said, no, I don't speak in English. Thank you so much, guys.
Good interview from Moicano. He's really good on the mic. He's fun to watch. He's funny. All right. Let's see who's up next. No English, no interview.
And wherever it is, I'm ready.
Ain't no way, bro. All right. Well, with that, I'll watch this later, and then I'll do a recording later. I definitely don't want to sit here and listen to Portuguese for a half hour. So I'm gonna wait till they talk to Ilya, and then maybe who else is on this fight card? I'm surprised they haven't had more people, but I'll do a recording and then post it on Crosstalks MMA. That's my MMA channel where I'll put the clips from all these live streams together. And so go ahead and subscribe to that if you want to see those reactions or watch alongs, I guess you could say. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. So thanks for watching. For those that tuned in today, feel free to go back through the stream and see what I talked about. I talked about Liver King being a little crazy. We got the 318 fight cards coming in together. 317 this weekend, lost a fight, and then we just watched Moicano's interview. So with that, though, I'm out of here. I will be back tomorrow with more MMA news that comes out throughout the day. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday, so that's the maybe I'll probably do a later show and I'll watch the press conference or watch the press conference live and do a live reaction to it as well. So I'll be back with that. Tomorrow will be a later show. It'll probably be around like 3 p.m. 3 p.m. for 3:30 p.m. I'll say, or maybe 2:30 because I think that the press conference starts at 3. So I'll go live right before the press conference. I'll go over some news or whatever comes out, and then we'll watch the press conference together. So later show tomorrow, I'll be there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video, and also subscribe to the channel. When it comes to the channel, please subscribe, share, get subscribers out. For every 100 subscribers that I get, I will do a 12 to 24 hour marathon subathon stream. But in order to get there, I got to reach the goal of 100, and I'm at 94, so I only need 6 more to get to that 100. So please be sure to subscribe. I talk movie news, MMA news. I'll do watch-alongs on fight nights if my buddies aren't in town or whatever. I'll do watch-alongs for movies. I'll talk about movies. I'll talk about MMA. All the fun stuff. I do watch parties every week for Ultimate Fighter. So again, if you like MMA, you like movies, please subscribe to this channel and to my sub channels as well. With that, I'm out of here for today. I will be back tomorrow, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.